Lots of interesting stories that Times of India has reported today on the front page that we have for you. Let's begin with what happened in Andhra Pradesh yesterday. 10 people died in fire at Andhra Pradesh hotel turned COVID hospital. Eerie similarity to another blaze in Ahmedabad 4 days ago. That's the big story that the Times of India has led with this morning. Most victims choked to death. Fire started around 4:45 a.m. at Swarna Palace Hotel, being used as COVID-19 care center by Ramesh Hospitals. 7 patients killed on the spot, most of them of asphyxiation. 2 others die of burns. Then 4 people got injured after jumping off the first floor, and 25 were rescued as well by the fire personnel there. Dozens of sanitizer cans may have sparked fire. That's what the initial report is indicating. 8 of them had recovered, were due for a release. So a very, very sad story coming from Andhra Pradesh, and that's something that the Times of India has led with this morning. Then, as far as India's COVID count is concerned, 1,000 plus COVID fatalities on Sunday. Week's new cases crossed 4 lakh. Over 6,200 deaths have happened in this particular week, and government says high daily tally likely for the next 45 days. As we speak, there are over 60,000 cases being reported on a daily basis, at least since last 4 days. Then, any type of visa good for air bubble nations. Indian nationals can now travel to any type on any type of visa to countries which air bubble arrangements have been made. The Civil Aviation Ministry tweeted on Sunday. At present, India has travel bubbles with US, UK, France and Germany. This is what Saurabh Sinha has reported. Then as far as Sushant Singh Rajput's death case is concerned, ED has questioned actress Rhea Chakraborty's brother Shovik for about 18 hours in connection with the money laundering case linked to Sushant case. And even today, the questioning is going to happen of Rhea Chakraborty, her brother and her father and the friend Siddharth Pithani as well. Then import of 101 defence items to be gradually barred. Domestic firms to get contracts worth 4 lakh crore rupees. The government on Sunday announced a negative arms import list under which acquisition of 101 weapon systems and platforms from abroad will be progressively banned from December 2020 to December 2025. The idea is to bolster the fledgling domestic defence production sector. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also had said that this decision will offer a great opportunity to the Indian defence industry to manufacture items in the negative list by using their own design and development capabilities. Then another important story is that 327 items from 3/4 of imports from China can actually be alternatively sourced. That's positive news coming, but this is something that India will have to also consider. Volkswagen has said that it's not easy to do business in India and has warned that restricting China imports is a retrograde measure that will harm the domestic competitiveness. This is what Pankaj Doval has reported. So we'll see how the government will have to respond to concerns coming from companies like Volkswagen. Then, with 1 lakh crore fund, government to bring mandis to farmers. Prime Minister Modi yesterday said mission for one country, one mandi is being completed. The farmer is now exempted from the purview of the mandi and mandi tax. If he wants to deal with his produce in the field, he can, or he can directly connect with a warehouse or whoever pays the higher price. So a big news for farmers as well. Demand for jobs under Narega has soared. That's another story. Landslide toll mounts to 43, 27 still missing. This is about Kerala landslide. The update there, death toll has risen to 43, 27 people are still missing. India-Nepal row over Buddha. India on Sunday moved to quell the controversy over the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, saying that Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar's remarks on him were about our shared Buddhist heritage. After Nepal took umbrage at the minister counting Buddha among the greatest Indians. Then, as BJP ring fences its floor, Gehlot reaches out to all Rajasthan MLAs. BJP likely to initiate Rajasthan flow test. Remember, the assembly session begins on 14th of August, and now a lot of activity has started in Rajasthan as well. Customs have moved 10 containers with 181 tons of ammonium nitrate from Chennai freight station on Sunday to a Hyderabad buyer. This is what official sources have said. 6 die in Jharkhand septic tank. 11 of Pak refugee PG family dead. Cause is not clear yet. Pasta noodle sales jump as people take to serious lockdown snacking now. A murdered woman alive, SHO has been suspended. And another important story is that a call from Ireland FB staffer stopped a suicide in Mumbai. A call to the Delhi Police's cyber cell from an Ireland-based Facebook official saved the life of a man who was on the verge of committing suicide on Saturday evening. We'll get you more on this in just a bit. Meanwhile, there's also an update about the Calicut air crash. Experts are now suggesting that pilots may have tried to take off after a deep touchdown. This even as the investigation is still underway about the possible cause. Initial probe is indicating that aquaplaning could be one of the reasons on the runway. And co-pilot's pregnant wife finally given news. Who is he? Asked Megha as the body of her husband, co-pilot Akhilesh Kumar, was brought home to Mathura on Sunday. This is not Akhilesh. He is at hospital where we have to go when our child opens. The child comes, she said over and over. Megha is pregnant less than a month from her due date. The reason her family didn't tell her about the Friday's crash. He was the co-pilot who also lost his life along with the captain and 16 other passengers. Then Indigo flight also landed similarly but safely because Indigo's aircraft was a smaller one. This was a Boeing 737, a narrow body plane, but it was slightly bigger in size and needed more space. Then a couple of more interesting stories here on the front page at the top as well. COVID world count is there. 19.7 million cases are there across the world. 7,27,900 people have lost their lives. US has passed another milestone as it reports over 5 million COVID cases. Brazil surpasses a grim milestone of 1 lakh deaths from coronavirus. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that reopening schools in September is a social, economic and moral imperative and insists they'll be able to operate safely despite the pandemic threat. Then US President Donald Trump has taken an executive action to provide aid to millions of Americans hit by pandemic, saying that he was forced to do so after talks at Congress broke down. Then Twitter has held initial talks for a possible tie-up with TikTok, an app US President has said is a threat to national security. Lastly, Messi led Barcelona and Bayern Munich progress to the quarter-final of Champions League after winning an aggregate in their respective second leg of last 16 round on Sunday. So that's about the front page of the Times of India. Let's move on and see what's there as far as the Nav Para Times this morning is concerned. और यहाँ पर जो बड़ी खबर है जिसको फ्रंट पेज पे रखा है नवभारत टाइम्स ने वो ये है कि लाइव होकर लगा रहा था फंदा. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से एफपी को पता चला. दिल्ली आया अलर्ट. मुंबई में था ये बंदा और साथ ही जान भी बचा ली गई है. राजधानी में पत्नी से लड़कर मुंबई पहुंचे शख्स ने आत्महत्या की कोशिश की. उसने फेसबुक लाइव कर भी पंखे से लटकने की कोशिश की. तो तभी जब वो फंदा बनाने की कोशिश कर रहा था, आयरलैंड में बैठी हुई एक फेसबुक की लेडी अफसर को आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सिस्टम से सुसाइड का अलर्ट मिला. उन्होंने तुरंत दिल्ली पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किया और फाइनली उसकी जान बचा ली गई है. इसके अलावा सेना की 101 चीजें विदेश से नहीं लेंगे. राइफल से मिसाइल तक देश में ही बनाने का ऐलान कर दिया है डिफेंस मिनिस्टर राजनाथ सिंह ने. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कल लॉन्च किया है एक फंड फार्मर्स के लिए. खेती के लिए 1 लाख करोड़ का फंड. पीएम किसान योजना की छठी जो किश्त है उसे भी जारी कर दिया गया है. घाटी में बीजेपी नेता पर हमला किया गया. ये तीसरा हमला है पिछले कुछ दिनों में. आंध्र में कोविड सेंटर में आग. फायर अलार्म तक नहीं बजा और 10 मरीज जो है उनकी जान चली गई है. कोरोना काउंट की बात करें तो 64,399 मरीज आए हैं और जो इंडिया का कोरोना काउंट है टोटल वो 22 लाख के पार आंकड़ा पहुंच चुका है. दिल्ली की बात करें तो 1300 केस आए और 1225 ठीक भी हो गए. 200 कोविड बेड के साथ शुरू हुआ अंबेडकर अस्पताल नई दिल्ली में. जोधपुर में 11 पाकिस्तानी हिंदू शरणार्थी घर में मरे मिले, लेकिन अभी तक इसमें कारण क्या था उसका पता नहीं चल पाया है. So that's about the latest as far as the Navbharat Times this morning is concerned. Let's see what's there in the pink paper this Monday morning and what's making headlines as far as the world of business and economy is concerned via the Economic Times. The big story that the Economic Times is leading with is that FDI powers to RBI may cut processing time sharply. Central bank gets powers of interpretation and exemption with regard to FDI application. So that's an interesting update. Changes not applicable, however, to foreign portfolio investments. It's only limited to FDI. And Saudi oil company has posted 73% drop in net income in the June quarter, still working on the Reliance Industries deal. That's what Aramco CEO has said. Then IFSCA chairman Injeti Srinivas has said that we'll be pushing for allowing LRS rupee ECBs in International Financial Centre as New Delhi hopes to give wings to its fledgling International Financial Centre in Gujarat. Senior bureaucrat Injeti Srinivas prepares to walk the tortuous road where he has to persuade conservative Indian regulators to push new rules and products and strike a balance that would woo investors as well as convince the taxman. That's another story, and it's a full interview that you can find here. Then Taiwan NGO has got a nod to accept foreign funds under FCRA. BJP has said Congress trying to poach its MLAs in Rajasthan. Political blame game has started in Kerala over the plane crash. So that's about the political news that the Economic Times has reported. Then businesses in slow lane in key states show July economic indicators. States like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are lagging behind. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, UP, Uttarakhand have seen a steady recovery. As far as GST collection is concerned, GST collections are down yearly and sequentially. Then Blackstone set to acquire 12.7 thousand crore of prestige assets. Hiring picks up as Motown restarts engine. In July, we've seen a slight increase in the total sales of domestic passenger vehicles. So hiring has now picked up there. Lockdown has hit regional brands quite hard. Drug sales continue to drop in July. And lastly, Indians may gain from US visa ban. Indians in line for employment-based green cards in the US could benefit from President Trump's recent proclamation suspending issue of new permanent residence permits. According to experts, Indians are currently the largest nationality group in line for green cards. This is another important update that's there as far as the Economic Times this morning is concerned. Let's be more city specific now and see what's there as far as the Delhi edition of the Times of India is concerned. And we have with us my colleague Parveena joining us on the broadcast. Parveena, good morning. Tell us what's making headlines today as far as the Delhi edition is concerned.
Well, in national capital, we have seen how we ourselves have been covering the COVID numbers and how the state is tackling the issue of COVID. And the latest is that 1,300 new cases has been reported as far as corona is concerned. Remember, we have gone down to 3-digit last week, and now again 13,000 cases is a matter of concern. As far as state government is concerned, they explained it that many people coming from outside are also testing in Delhi, and that is increasing the numbers in Delhi. And also it is also time for the Delhi citizens to be more cautious, because having said that the numbers have come down in Delhi, remember the state and different authorities have been cautioning everyone that it is not yet over, and hence all those steps which are required to take, and the COVID care facilities should always be alert, because we are yet to be over as far as this virus is concerned. And hence this 1,300 cases have concerned the people. They have asked people to be cautious, and also said the numbers are also because people are coming from outside Delhi and testing here, as the testing has also, and the testing facility has also increased in the national capital.
All right, Parveena, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. Couple of more interesting stories as far as the Delhi edition is concerned. Expect moderate to heavy rain over the next few days. That's also reported. Civic elections, AAP recast party posts. And untying the knot, police crackdown on sale of Chinese manja. Remember, kite flying happens especially around the Independence Day in the national capital and the areas around. Moving on now, and let's see what's there as far as the Mumbai edition of the Times of India is concerned. My colleague Arunil joining us on the broadcast this morning. Arunil, good morning. Maharashtra has added over 12,000 cases for second day in a row. Is the situation again getting bad there?
Well, to an extent, yes, because the number of cases have exceeded the 5 lakh mark as well. Second day in a row, more than 12,000 cases being added. And yesterday, there were 395 deaths recorded in the state of Maharashtra. That is the single highest day, 24-hour death count in the state of Maharashtra. Speaking about Mumbai, it is relatively better as compared to other parts of Maharashtra, be it Pune or the MMR region, that is the Thane, Navi Mumbai areas. Mumbai active cases are just less than 20,000 cases. And also one important development will be the BMC is now planning to have a voice sampling test to ascertain whether patients are COVID positive or not. The experiment will be conducted at the NESCO Center in Goregaon. So depending upon a person's voice, the BMC plans to basically test people for COVID-19. This was applied in some European countries, and the BMC wants to imitate that in the city of Mumbai as well. And also, yes, the lockdown has been relatively open, and the BMC has maintained that the number of cases are expected to increase over here. The mortality rate remains a concern, more than 5% mortality rate in the city of Mumbai. So the CM of Maharashtra has said that the main job will be to reduce the mortality rate now.
All right, Arunil, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. Couple of more important stories related to COVID only. Dedicated OPDs at 3 hospitals to help patients cope with virus aftermath. Then fear factor is still on. Non-COVID treatment continues to lag in private as well as public hospitals because the cases are rising quite fast still in parts of Maharashtra. 94% COVID deaths in city among middle-aged patients and senior citizens. And there's a very interesting story as well. Ganesha to restaurateurs rescue. Now, this is about a restaurant in Parel, Shri Ganesha Bhojanalaya, which has now let out its premises to a Ganpati idol seller because the eatery business could not really continue due to the lockdown. And this is how this one is now trying to also help the seller and make some money as well in this time of coronavirus. Then Captain Sate's remains flown into city. Last rites to happen tomorrow. Captain Sate was one of the 2 pilots, the captain of the Air India Express flight that crashed on Friday, killing 8 people. Let's now move on and see what's there as far as the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India is concerned. My colleague Imran joining us in the broadcast this morning. Imran, good morning. The Bengaluru edition has reported that the state is going to boost cyber security. Give us more details.
Morning. You've seen a spike in number of online frauds in Karnataka, and there's been a growing challenge for the state government there to track this online frauds. Hence, speaking on Times of India Conclave, the Home Minister Basuraj Bommai informed that they are looking at this, especially because the online sector is causing online frauds is causing a lot of hamper to the economy, and a lot of people are raising concern because it's a technical issue, and a lot of people are not able to fathom how their money is lost. So they say that to boost online secured online transactions, the Home Minister will also have a meeting with the bankers in the coming week and ensure that the online fraud is somewhere contained, and people who are doing online transactions, their transactions are secure and safe.
Right. Thank you, Imran, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. In fact, from Bengaluru only, another story is that a woman who was unhappy with her kurta set has sued the Insta handle seller. Remember, via Instagram, people are buying a lot of stuff, and a woman has now sued the Insta handle and the seller. Apart from this, let's see what's there as far as the Chennai edition of the Times of India this morning is concerned. My colleague Shabir joining us on the broadcast this Monday morning. Shabir, good morning. Districts log more deaths than Chennai. Has situation started getting better in Chennai?
Well, according to officials, the rate of infection in Chennai has come down, and this is according to the Chennai Corporation. Officials they say that they have managed to bring down the numbers. They have managed to control the situation on ground. Earlier, Chennai was reporting 2,000 cases. It came down to 1,200 cases, and it stayed between the range of 1,000 to 1,200 for a very long time. And now they have managed to bring it below 1,000 cases. So for the past 3 days, Chennai has reported more than 900 cases and below 1,000 cases. So this is seen as some amount of improvement on ground. The various strategies that were adopted by the Chennai Corporation and the Health Department seems to have been working on ground. But there are also people who are very skeptical about the numbers that are being, shown by the Tamil Nadu Health Department. Some of them even question whether they are only showing Chennai numbers within certain areas, and it's not about the greater Chennai limit. So these are some of the questions that are being raised now.
All right, Shabir, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and see what's there as far as the Kolkata edition of the Times of India is concerned. 3 charter flights to end international lull at Kolkata airport. Then more city hospitals ready to set up plasma banks. That's another important story. And for this, Tamal Zaha is joining us on the broadcast. Tamal, good morning. Give us more details.
Well, Hina, very good morning. We know the second plasma bank in the country was formed here in Kolkata. State government of Mamata Banerjee created a plasma bank at Medical College and Hospital. We have to understand, as far as plasma therapy is concerned, it's still off the table, treatment. It has still not been confirmed, publicly approved by ICMR. But it's being seen as a treatment working in favor of the patients. We know, as a matter of fact, that plasma therapy has been used as a therapy on several COVID patients, and it has shown promising results, yet it is not the approved method of treating a COVID patient. However, we are learning from Times of India Kolkata edition that 2 private hospitals in Kolkata, one near EM bypass, other which is in heart of the city, both have decided to come up with their own plasma bank. Why? Because they are of the belief that plasma therapy has worked on some of the patients. Thus, as a precautionary measure, they would be creating this plasma bank so that tomorrow there should not be any crisis if and when the plasma therapy is being totally approved.
All right. Appreciate you joining us with all of those details, Tamal. In fact, state is on high alert after COVID hospital fires in 2 different cities. We are being told that there's going to be inspection on at least 100 facilities in West Bengal now. Let's now move on and see what's there as far as news from around the world is concerned. Mahinda Rajpaksha takes oath as Prime Minister for the 4th time. That's one story. Twitter, TikTok had preliminary talks about a possible merger. That's what a report has indicated. Sidestepping Congress, Trump signs executive measures for pandemic relief. Then fresh protest in Beirut as ministers quit. Donors pledge $298 million as aid. Moving on now to the world of sports. My colleague Karishma is joining us live right now. Karishma, good morning. What is it that you have for us today?
Good morning, Hina. Well, what we know is, and what the Times of India is reporting is that the IPL auctions that were scheduled for 2021 edition have now been postponed indefinitely, because remember, IPL this edition will finish on the 10th of November, and then there will be less than 4 months for BCCI to again prepare for IPL in 2021. So the BCCI, the IPL Governing Council and the franchisee owners feel that this is not the right time to hold an auction, because remember, since the beginning of IPL, this is going to be another fresh auction where the teams will be given the opportunity, the franchisees will be given the opportunity to build their teams from scratch. They can keep players to whoever they want, but they will have the opportunity to build their team from the very beginning, from the very start. So they want more time to be given. So probably after the 2021 edition of IPL is also over, then BCCI could go ahead and hold a proper auction. But for the moment, the IPL auction that was to be held ahead of the 2021 edition has been put on hold indefinitely, Hina.
All right. Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. A quick glance at what's there as far as the Delhi Times is concerned. A lot of interesting stories, an interview with Kareena Kapoor Khan that you can also get this Monday morning. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.